What's the one thing billions of people need every single day? Moving money. Not trading, not speculation, just sending money home, paying bills, keeping families afloat. And here's the shocking part. XRP is quietly laying the pipes for exactly that. This isn't hype. This isn't theory. This is adoption you can actually track: corridors, partners, and flows. Stay with me, because in a minute, I'll show you how this ties into SWIFT and ETFs, and why whales are already moving in. XRP-powered remittance route just opened. This could transform XRP to the rails for tomorrow's money. Remittances are a lifeline. Workers in Africa, Asia, Latin America send billions back home every year. The World Bank puts global remittances at over $800 billion annually. But here's the painful part: fees. Western Union, MoneyGram, and banks often take 7%, 10% per transaction. Imagine sending $200 and $20 disappearing before it even reaches your family. That's rent money gone. XRP changes that. We're talking settlement in seconds, fees that cost less than a penny, and corridors that can bypass the slow, expensive middlemen. The mission is simple: put more money into the hands of the people who earned it. So what just happened? Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin was rolled out as the engine powering remittance corridors, specifically targeting Africa, one of the biggest and most expensive remittance markets in the world. Partnerships like Onafriq and Chipper Cash are leveraging RippleNet and XRP to cut out unnecessary friction. These aren't small names. Chipper Cash alone has millions of users across Africa. This isn't theory anymore. This is pipes being laid, corridors being opened, and flows starting to move. In other words, XRP just went from crypto in your portfolio to crypto solving a $1 trillion problem. Whenever new corridors open, liquidity follows. And we've seen exactly that. Over 30 million XRP shifted into large wallets in a single 24-hour window recently. That's not retail traders playing games. That's deep pocket players positioning. Why? Because liquidity attracts liquidity. Once corridors go live, institutions need depth to move money. Whales know this. They're not gambling on price spikes. They're anchoring themselves where the future money will actually move. And that ties directly into the next layer: ETFs and SWIFT. You've heard it 1,000 times. Bitcoin ETF approval opened the floodgates. That's true. But here's the quiet part. The SEC has been streamlining ETF approvals, cutting timelines from nearly a year down to just a few months. When XRP ETFs arrive, and they will eventually, the demand filter changes. Institutions don't need to hold wallets or worry about custody. They just package, push, and sell exposure. That means more liquidity entering XRP faster than ever before. And then there's SWIFT, the global payment backbone. Right now, SWIFT still handles most of the $150+ trillion annual flows across borders. But Ripple has already partnered with banks that use SWIFT rails. The overlap is clear. XRP doesn't have to replace SWIFT, it can integrate with it as a liquidity bridge. That's why this remittance story is bigger than Africa. It's the prototype for how XRP could quietly slot into the plumbing of the global financial system. Now let's talk numbers, because everyone's thinking it. Tier 1 is the conservative range. Steady adoption, corridors keep opening, retail interest grows. XRP in the $4.50 to $5.50 range is completely reasonable. This isn't moonshot, it's just recognition of real-world demand. Tier 2 is the bullish breakout. Institutional corridors, ETF approvals, integration with SWIFT pilots. Liquidity deepens. Suddenly, the $9 to $15 band isn't crazy. It's a reflection of XRP becoming Rails-level infrastructure. Tier 3 is the aggressive push. Now we're in hyper-bull territory. Analysts have floated models putting XRP anywhere from $20 to $33 and beyond. That would mean massive corridor adoption, CBDCs using Ripple tech, and a shift in how capital flows globally. Not guaranteed, but not fantasy either. The key isn't latching onto one number. It's understanding the tiers, so your strategy is balanced across possible outcomes. Here's the mistake most people make. They chase headlines. XRP is up today, down tomorrow, up the next day. That's noise. The real investors position for trends. Remittances are a trend. ETF approvals are a trend. Banks needing instant liquidity are a trend. Whether XRP is $2.90 or $3.50 today doesn't matter. What matters is, are you positioned for the corridors that will still be open 5 years from now? Smart traders are splitting entries. Some stack around base ranges, some add above breakout levels. That way, they're not wrecked by drawdowns, but also don't miss momentum. It's not emotional, it's structural. And let's not forget the human angle. A father in Lagos, Nigeria, sending $100 to his daughter in Nairobi, Kenya. A nurse in London sending wages back to Manila in the Philippines. Right now, they lose 10 to 15% of that money to fees and delays. XRP changes that. It doesn't just make banks efficient, it makes families stronger. That's the story most people miss. This isn't speculation for speculation's sake. This is blockchain quietly reshaping lives at the grassroots level, while also giving investors exposure to one of the most asymmetric plays in finance. Finally, think ahead. Ripple isn't just working on remittances. It's pushing into CBDCs, tokenized real-world assets, and liquidity solutions for institutions. Imagine a world where your house deed, your stocks, your retirement fund are tokenized, and XRP acts as the bridge asset to settle it all. That's not tomorrow, but it's coming. And remittances are just the first domino to fall. So here's the clarity. Conservative case, 450, 550, bullish breakout, 9 to 15, aggressive push, 2033, corridors are opening, whales are positioning, ETF rails are shortening, Swift is watching, and families on the ground are already seeing the difference when XRP moves their money in seconds, not days. This isn't hype, it's strategy, it's infrastructure, and it's adoption you can actually track. So I'll leave you with this. Will XRP simply be another altcoin chasing pumps, or will it become the rails that trillions ride on? Drop your thoughts below. Smash like if you want me breaking this down every week. And remember, wealth doesn't go to the loudest, it goes to the calmest, the ones who see both the floor and the ceiling. Stay sharp, stay smart, and let's see where XRP takes us next. See you in the next video.